Hi and welcome back, guys. Hope you all are having a great day out there. Moments ago, we got some very interesting news and it's already becoming an eventful week. I want to talk to you about what's being said, what's being done, Ripple and XRP updates, what the Federal Reserve just said in relation to what Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, has just said at the XRP Las Vegas event, and where we're at timeline wise in this cycle, and an analyst talking about fireworks going off for XRP much sooner than what many think. And I do tend to agree, guys. A lot to put out in this quick video. All I ask is if you do like talking about XRP, click that like button. And if you're new to the channel and you do like talking about crypto, click that subscribe button as well. I want to start right here because Jerome Powell came out and many of us were anticipating, waiting patiently for what he was going to say. Well, let's listen to about 30 seconds of this.
Had emerged from World War II as a global economic superpower. The Bretton Woods Agreement placed the U.S. and the Fed in a central position in the global economy. Our mission then, as it is now, was to serve the American people. But it was clear at that moment that the Fed needed to have better knowledge of global developments to achieve our dual mandate goals. A 1948 memo proposing to create the division stated, quoting, "Problems of international economics and finance have become increasingly large."
Oh, like how they are right now, becoming increasingly large, the problems economically and financially. So we had Brad Garlinghouse this past weekend say these words. I'm going to play you about 30 seconds of this. And I know many of you have heard what he said, but it is very important in relation to what Jerome Powell just said.
I'll say some, even the XRP family, it's like, look, the Bitcoin community is not our enemy. They really are not. If they do well, we're going to do well. We might do better. It's just like, it's not a zero-sum game. And I think the one thing I learned, I was in Silicon Valley for 24 years, the one thing you learn is tech is not a zero-sum game. We're going to grow the pie. And, David Schwartz was up here yesterday talking about rewiring the entire banking system and what this looks like maybe in 10 years or 20 years. We underestimate how big that change is and how profound it is. And we get there by being collaborative and working together, not against each other. Sorry, I'll shut up.
100%. There is an ecosystem being built out right now that is completely transforming the banking system. XRP is right in the middle of it. Now, here today, moments ago, we heard that the Trump administration demands a final trade offer from countries by Wednesday in 2 days to avoid reinstating of tariffs. So it's going to be a rocky road this week. I'm not saying we're going to see any kind of massive drops, but regardless, it's likely going to be very volatile while we patiently await, will Trump and Xi Jinping have what is expected to be a scheduled call this week on what's happening with the US and China. Now, also in here today, we had Vivo Power teams up with BitGo as exclusive OTC and custody partner for 100 million XRP acquisition. Let's go, XRP holders. I know you love to hear that. An analyst, modern investor who I'm sure many of you know who he is. He's been around the block for a while now, or has been around for a while. Altcoin season, he says, needs to happen within the next 6 weeks or the charts will be invalidated. Altcoin season usually kicks off in January, February, which is true. Because of tariffs and uncertainty, the market is way behind. And we've been talking about that on this channel for a long time. Because of tariffs and this unexpected volatility we've had, because every other day it seems something new is coming out on tariffs, pushing the market around, and the market makers utilizing this information, this news to manipulate the market. He states, we are way behind in the cycle. Considering this current bull cycle might only last until winter, times are ticking. So he's thinking 6 weeks away, and things are very, very interesting at this point in time. We've got XRP. It's not a speculative asset anymore. XRP right now, its role in global finance and driving payments and utilizing it for asset tokenization and just this ever evolving emerging market is something much bigger. We have complete adoption happening right now. We saw this with Vivo Power. We see it with Weebus. We see it with XRP reserves being put in place by these companies that I believe is from these NDAs expiring. But right now, what we're seeing in this complete shift and a boost of tech and adoption, things are moving incredibly quick. It doesn't always appear that way when we look at the 24-hour chart. And I know a lot of people are having a hard time that haven't been in this market that long, having a hard time seeing what's ahead of us and the vision and where this is going. But for a long time, us investors buying well under 50 cents, we had some of that same crowd. A lot of that crowd that was saying, well, can we at least get to $1 first? That said that just over and over. Now they're becoming true investors and they're seeing that, hey, we did a 4X and we could do another 4X very quickly. The price for XRP, when it moves incredibly fast. And so we've got to keep an eye on all the new developments, what's happening, what is going to truly move this market in a big way. And we've got a very interesting week ahead of us. Of course, as always, I'm going to keep you updated. Make sure you have those notification bells on. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you all in the next one.